Welcome to The Way Out Tarot. This will be your timeless general reading for wherever you have Cancer in your chart. Before every reading, this one included, I ask for messages that you need to know. I encourage you to use your intuition and your knowledge of your own experience to interpret the messages that come through. Thank you all for the likes, the shares, and subscribes. Donations are not a requirement. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do so by watching the ad at the beginning, the middle, or the end of this video. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Your soul is satisfied. What you're encountering right now is a restoration of something that maybe you felt like you've lost. There's a rejuvenation of spirit in your spirit. There's some part of your life where you were tapped, you were drained, and you've been blessed with a chance, with an opportunity to reap some kind of reward in that area. That it's become abundant once again. There's also something here about the harvest. There's something here that you've been waiting for. It's in those moments when you might be feeling as though all is lost. It's in those moments when you might be feeling like you don't have any options. It's in those moments when you might be feeling like you can't go on any longer, that you find a way. A path presents itself. It's one that allows you to keep going where once you thought that you had reached the end of your rope. You're not alone in the way that you feel. In fact, you have some support around you that's going to help you make the most of these opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. Seize the day. sometimes seizing the day and allowing yourself to recharge. It might look like you it's like you stop giving to someone, you stop giving in some area, you stop supporting. You stop upholding. You stop perpetuating something toxic, something that you know is wrong. You stop fighting a battle that you know that you can't win, and you surrender. I feel like there are some people that you want to do right by. There are some people that you want to be there for. There are some people that you want to show up for, but they won't let you help them. You can only help the willing. You can only teach those who are willing to learn. And I know you guys don't want to give up on people. You don't want to stop working with someone or stop working on someone because of what that might mean about you and what that might say about you, but you shouldn't feel guilty if that person doesn't want the help. And I think that you'll find freedom when you stop fighting those kind of losing battles. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make that horse drink. There's quite a bit of good that you have going for you here. There is quite a bit of good, but I do get that it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet in the way that I'm getting that it's kind of like a trade-off. It's like you gain something, and in gaining something, you are also losing something, and it's kind of up to you to decide if it's worth it. It's not fair. Everything was supposed to be fixed. Everything was supposed to be okay. And it is okay in some ways. It's all about perspective. It's about how you look at it. It's about how you see a step back. It's about how you frame a setback. It's about what you make of it. Do you see it for the opportunity that it is? Do you see it for all of the good that you now have the potential to have for what you gave up? you are going to have to work a bit harder here. There's a certain amount of complacency or non-action that you've had to leave behind. You can't coast in that. You can't rely on that and expect that anymore. This good that you have gained, in order to keep it, well, I think you get by with a little help from your friends. And I think that you get by believing that you did make the right decision, by trusting that you did make the right decision, that leaving was the right thing to do, that the promise of whatever this new thing is that you've stepped into is something that was worth all of the steps that you've taken to get it. I spoke quite a bit in the first part about making the right decision and about, just a lot about making the right decision. And I think that that is a kind of loop that Libras can get stuck in. Because they want that, right? But whatever the decision is, whatever the step is, whatever the choice is, making the choice gets easier when you focus less on making the right decision and you focus more on doing what is right. And that's what it comes down to here. Starting with the Ace of Cups in the top left as the first card coming out is there's nothing like an abundance of water to assure us that you are still in your element, that you're still capable, that no matter how you might feel from time to time, no matter how difficult it may get, Five of Pentacles from time to time, you will always have the strength, the Magician, you will always have the know-how, you will always have the aptitude to come up with a plan, to find a way to make the best of your situation, and to you find a way, you find a path to wholeness. Now, we spoke at length about wanting to, or rather, we spoke a lot about perspective, right? And about how something is framed. So the most, I won't say difficult situations, I will say inconvenient situations, the ones that require you to be creative, the ones that require you to think outside of the box, to find a way to stay happy, to find a way to maintain, to keep your dream, to keep your vision alive. No matter the little inconveniences here or there that require you to get in that mind space, you get there. And I think that that's what's important to remember here. Now, I know what's being asked of you is, it's not like it's something different. Maybe the only thing that's different is the environment. Maybe the only thing that's different are the circumstances, but the toll on your comfort zone is familiar. So around this time, you're pushed out of it, but it's a situation that you also put yourself into. So I don't think that we should forget that. It's like you're pushing yourself through growth. You're pushing yourself to evolve in this particular way. There are these moments in life that require us to take control of the situation or to take matters into your own hands to bring about some type of victory for yourself, to bring about some kind of justice for yourself. And I think you know at this point all too well what that really entails. It means that you'll have to make certain concessions. It means that you have to be more choosy about the battles you choose to fight. It requires you to be more strategic. So you have some authority. If that's by your position or if it's by the power that you have given yourself over your life and over your circumstances. You have some authority, and I think that's really good on your self-esteem. It's really good for your self-esteem. It's really good for your self-confidence, and it's really good for your peace. Four of Swords. Why? Because I do think that, although the environment might be different, although the scenery might be different, what's being asked of you is it's a demand that you can meet. This creates a pathway for optimism, and it creates a pathway for gratitude for the chances that you get in life, for the opportunities that come your way. And you grow a little bit, I think, in your, don't take this the wrong way, but in your way of thinking. Specifically, when it comes to letting things go, letting certain things go, I think that you have a lot of belief in your ability to revive certain things. You have a lot of belief in your ability to keep things alive. And that's a very Aries trait. Here we got Jupiter in Aries, and we also got Mercury in Aries. So you have the luck of an Aries, the kind that's generated from approaching something with an open mind and being positive and being very enterprising, believing that you will be successful. So you have that kind of energy supporting you. But then there is this fastidious, this restlessness energy in the way that you speak. Maybe the way that you communicate. Or just your perception of the things you have your hand in, the things that you're building. You have this kind of restlessness about you that wants you to keep trying, that wants you to make it. Sorry. New angle, kinda. This kind of restlessness that makes you want to keep trying until it's perfect. The other two oracles that came out are companionship there in the top left and acquisition. So we said something here about you getting a little help from your friends. And that's exactly what that companionship card looks like. I do think that there are some people around who you are comrades in arms. Perhaps you share a vision. Perhaps you have a the relationship is one that helps you develop a sense of strength and individuality because those people are, that's what they embody, that's what they project, and you're teaching each other. And acquisition here, it's interesting, in the last reading that I did for you, we did speak about an offer of some kind coming your way in the form of a letter. And here with the acquisition card, it's like a natural progression. You know, it's like you actually getting the thing. This chair is so squeaky. I'm sorry. I don't typically sit on this, but I've been working out a lot. So, acquisition. Yes, it's the natural progression. There's something here that you are receiving. That's also the promise of the World card. Now, if there is some kind of injustice that happens here, some kind of wrongdoing that happens here where you feel like someone they weren't taking care of you. I'm looking at that Empress in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. You might be feeling like they did you wrong. Maybe I'm getting that you weren't prioritized, or you slipped through the cracks. Don't worry too much about that. The situation does get corrected with the Justice card here, and it works out in a way that you do get everything that's owed to you, for better or for worse. Now if another thing that you were concerned about was whether or not you'd have the energy, whether or not you'd be able to go the distance, I think there's an opportunity here to change that way of thinking. Take a step back and worry less about what other people think of you or are saying about you. Who do you know yourself to be? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to have? What do you want to represent? Value that before anything else. Value that more than anything else. Seize that. Chase that. Let's take a look at the Ace of Cups. The readings have been running a bit long lately, and I was wondering if I should bring back extended, and this is, I would say, the part that I would consider extended when we go in with another deck. And I've just been doing it all in one video because, like, there's a lot I want to talk about. But I don't know if you have 40 minutes. So I gotta stop shaking the camera or find another way to make this work. Nine of Wands coming out, clarifying the Ace of Cups, speaking of finding another way to make it work. Nine of Wands, this here is looking like something that you have decided to let go. It's something that you have decided not to fight for, not to work towards. We got the Magician card coming out. Instead, deciding to create a better life for yourself, deciding to create something different, deciding to face that feeling of isolation that you have head on. Hierophant, speaking of grabbing your life by the horn. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, or this could have something to do with that shift that happens in your mind, right? This is a shift in terms of faith. This is a shift in terms of your faith and the ability that you have to change your own circumstances. You could be praying a lot as well. Five of Pentacles, and we also got, look at that, the High Priestess and the Strength card. Yeah, you could be praying a lot. And if that's what gives you strength, then that is perfectly fine. 10 of Cups. If that's what gives you a sense of direction, if that's what helps you keep in touch with your humanity, if that's what helps you identify with your purpose, then that's okay. Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Page of Cups in reverse. Is that a question that you have? You know, what your purpose is. We did an episode on the Way Out podcast called Chosen Ones, and we spoke briefly about how those who are chosen, there is a period in their life of, you could call it confusion, you could cause it, or you could call it confusion, you could call it a period of questioning, where you wonder what your purpose is, where you wonder why you were put on this earth, where you wonder why you face and have to carry certain things. But it's a period of their life that they overcome. Four of Wands, it's a period of their life that it ends up being the foundation, it ends up being the makings of something very real and substantial for them. It's something that constructs the path toward their fulfillment and attainment and self-actualization and development. King of Pentacles, yes. Let's take a look at the Empress card in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. What is this betrayal that took place here? But I'm also getting that it might have been inadvertent. Star card and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Four of Cups. Don't worry about that thing that you didn't get when you were supposed to get it. What do you have? That's the question that I have. Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. And the Sun. So this could be conception, you know, you could be having a boy, but also there's a really beautiful thing happening here with you becoming very expressive, you becoming very unafraid to go after, to speak up about getting your fair share, to speak up about about being treated fairly, but not only speaking up about it, but doing something about it, but actually taking action and going after those things that you know are right, that you know are better. Seven of Swords. Queen of Swords. It's not everybody that you need to vent to. I'm also getting be careful who you vent to. Two of Wands coming out next. You have the potential to get a bit obsessive here about correcting something, about balancing the checkbooks, about getting a return on your investment. But I don't know that it's one that you really need to fixate on. I don't know that it's one that you really need to force, that you need to push. A lot of this is air energy, so this is a lot of overthinking that's happening here. Yes, you're supposed to. You're right. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Three of Pentacles and... Oh, wait a minute. This was a world down here again. This is the Sun. Interesting. So everybody knows it. You don't have to go back and forth about the things that are true. You don't have to argue the facts here. Justice. Sometimes when you try too hard to, it's like you shouldn't seek vengeance. The vindication isn't something that you don't take revenge. I'll leave that there. Don't stoop to that level. Resist the urge to be petty. It's something that is just so common. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. You know right from wrong. The month of April could be important. We got Leo. You could be dealing with one. Gaslighting. The letters G, H, and I. The letters V, W, and X. The month of March. The number 1. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. So the letters could be someone's name, the signs, you get it. Gaslighting, oh, blue eyes, I didn't say that. These just could be random energies that you're dealing with traits. If you've been here for a while, you know how those cards go. So the two reflection cards that came over here are, the first is, if you could change one thing about your family, what would it be? It's a question I leave to you. I leave with you. Is there anything in your life that you've been managing that really needs to just be resolved? Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Call it done. Is there something here that you know you need a resolution for? That Aaliyah song is what I'm hearing. Alright, this was your read. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you got everything that you were looking for in a tarot reading from this one, then I'm satisfied with that, and I've done what I have set out to do. I hope that these messages meant something to you. If you are already looking forward to another reading, I always recommend, rewatching this one in a few days' time, in a week or so, as you're waiting for the next one. Oftentimes when you re-listen to something, it triggers different things, causes you to think about things that you didn't think about the first time around. Oh, that's just my take on it. Check out episode 3 of the podcast if you'd like. I think that would offer you some more insight. It's available on Spotify and Apple Music. Not Apple Music. Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right, I'll see you in the next one.